Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And we are here today doing KIKI'S Delivery Service with the Troublesome Twosome. Aisha, my dear, how are you this morning?
Surviving. Bit frazzled from work, and I've got another whole week of wonderful, shall we say, fun next week. But as for today, yeah, I'm surviving. I'm okay. Yourself? You fine?
I'm doing fine, and we did just get a notice that on Facebook, NDB Media is down. However, both your Facebook site, my Facebook site, and the YouTube sites are up and running. So if you can't find us on Facebook for NDB Media, you can catch us on YouTube or on either Aisha's site or mine.
Yeah, we'll be there somehow.
Yep. You can't get rid of us no matter how hard you try.
Yeah. We'll wade our way through. We're like bad pennies, we just show up.
And then you don't get rid of us.
Well, exactly. Why would we? Anyway, are you going to do the preamble, or do you wish me to do the preamble, my dear?
Oh, whatever you choose to. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Gregor and I say you do it.
Right. Today we are covering the Miyazaki's film KIKI'S Delivery Service. And we've actually, ready for this? Sitting down? Yeah, we've actually got into our first teenager since we started.
She is 13, correct.
She's 13. We started off with Spirited Away, and the last was 10. We moved to Okko's Inn. She was 10, 11. And then we had Marnie, who was about 11 or 12. Now we've actually got a 13-year-old, a teenager. Wow. Kiki is a witch. Problem is, unlike our witch from last week, Mary, who just played at being a witch, Kiki is a witch, but she really isn't what one could call on her A game.
Natural born witch.
Yeah, but she's not on her A game. She's no good at potions. She's not that great at casting spells, and her fortune telling leaves a lot to be desired. And at 13, apparently, in this northern country that it's set in, Miyazaki actually went to Finland to get some good ideas.
Yes, he did.
She then decides at 13, off you go, make it in the big wide world. And we follow her from her leaving her parents to going to this rather large city and setting up this flying delivery service, which kind of surprises you because nobody blinks an eyelid of a 13-year-old flying overhead on a broom in the middle of the city. They just keep right on walking.
Well, they also it was a normal thing for them. Everywhere she went, they knew of witches and that witches flew. So it was just as normal as you seeing the postman come to your house. FedEx stops by. Now, if FedEx stops by on a broom, it would make me wonder.
I don't know. My Amazon delivery guy come yesterday. Instead of pressing the doorbell, he just left my DVDs on the doorstep. Yay me. Didn't even knock the door, but there you go.
At least you caught them before they walked off.
Yeah, at least I managed to get hold of them. So our Kiki, who is 13, this was actually released in 1989. And the Japanese name for this is Witches Express Home Delivery. Of all things. Nothing like, we make it KIKI'S Delivery Service. To them, it's the Witches Express Home Delivery.
Mm-hmm.
The actual film you can get on DVD, Blu-ray, and it lasts somewhat of a 102 minutes. quite a successful film. It was budgeted at 8 million yen, worked out at those days at roughly $6.9 million. And its box office, as far as I've got it, is here. It brought back in something in the region of.
You're phasing in and out.
Oh, am
When
I?
when you turned your head, you were phasing. You're back to us now. We couldn't
Okay.
hear the amount.
Yeah, it's $41.8 million.
Wow. And this was in '98, correct?
This was in 1998, yes. It was released on July the 29th, 1989. Not 98, 89. I got it wrong. Eki thump, lass, I got it wrong. As I say, the plot is Kiki decides to go out to the big wide world. She meets a herd of cows in a train. It makes you wonder where they got the idea for that one.
They were exploring my backyard, according to our illustrious leader.
Yeah. She eventually finds a town to settle down in, where she falls over a young boy named Tombo. They don't hit it off straight away, but we'll explore more of that probably further down the line. And she ends up working out of a bakery after delivering, of all things, a baby pacifier.
But you forgot to mention who, in as far as I'm concerned, my favorite person in the entire show is, and it's not Kiki.
What is that? Asana?
Huh?
Asana?
Jiji.
Kiki?
No, not Kiki.
Well, Asana, the woman that runs.
Cat.
Oh, Jiji.
Yes.
Jiji, yeah. Well, he actually, you think about it, on the first delivery, he becomes a stuffed cat.
True, but there's so much in his personality. And I know you tend to only watch them in the original Japanese. I have seen them in both the Americanized version and the Japanese version. And for Jiji, I prefer the Americanized version because it was the late great Phil Hartman that did it, and he fit the role so perfectly.
Yeah, but did you notice the difference between the Japanese version and the Americanized version?
Mm-hmm.
What's the differences?
Certain inflections with how they talk back and forth.
Also, big difference are the songs. 2 songs in Kiki, isn't there?
When she's flying. Yeah, there are.
Exactly. Well, in the Japanese version, they're different to the ones in the American version. They didn't realize that.
Did they have a reason why they had to do it differently in the American version?
No. It just says for the Disney version, much of the soundtrack was retained except for Message of Rouge and Wrapped in Kindness, which were the opening and ending themes of the original Japanese version. They were replaced by 2 songs by Sidney Forrest, and they were Soaring and I'm Gonna Fly.
I'm Gonna Fly was a really good one. I like that one.
Yeah. But both these songs, although, were actually removed in the 2010 DVD release. So that's the main differences between the 2. But I didn't realize that Disney weren't the first people to release Kiki in English.
Who were?
Streamline Pictures.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They got the official dub of Kiki's Delivery Service in November of '89. And it was originally done for Japan Airlines, so that people could sit.
Oh, I do remember hearing something about that. I do remember.
Yeah, so people could sit on the plane and watch Kiki's Delivery Service in English. And they were the first ones.
The second you mentioned the airlines, I remember that it was a big deal at the time that they could do that.
Yeah, I mean, Disney didn't get hold of the English dub until 1997.
Yeah,
So, you know,
which was 9 years later. So
yeah. But they got it alongside Spirited Away and Castle in the Sky.
we have a tremendous amount of viewer questions on the sideboard. I'm going to throw them up as we go, and you can give your opinion to them, and um, I'll go ahead and give mine. Do you want to read it, or do you want me to?
Please continue.
How did Kiki's Delivery Service make you feel about the importance of self-reliance and independence? And did you relate to Kiki's struggle to find her purpose?
How did it make me feel about the importance of self-reliance? In some ways, yes, I will agree. Kiki's Delivery Service is kind of like a journey of self-reliance, but it's also, for me, the importance of having friends that will help you. I mean, she has to find somewhere to live, and it's the girl in the bakery that helps her by giving her a place to live. She also helps her by allowing her to use the bakery as a base to start her business from.
Mm-hmm.
That, to me, is the importance of friendship. Not self-reliance, friendship. Be able to rely on someone else. Also, when she, later on in the film, when she forgets how to fly, and Jiji buggers off to get the new girlfriend, it's the artist in the woods that takes her into the woods, shows her the picture, and then brings her back to center herself. So yes, Kiki is looking for independence and self-reliance, but I think it also shows you how close friends and people you can rely on can help you along.
True, and I want to pull into something that you said. You said that she forgot how to fly, and that wasn't really what was going on. She had the fun taken out of the delivery and the flying. And now it was so much pressure that she had to do because she had this business and she had to prove herself that she lost the fun in that. When she lost the fun in that, she started to lose her magic. So when she started to lose her magic, she lost the ability to fly and the ability to understand Jiji. Because before he had talked to her as a human, she could understand it. But when she started to lose her magic, it was him talking to her as a cat. It wasn't until she regained back her self-reliance.
But I don't think it was. I don't think it was the pressure of business that did it. I think it was the pressure of the boy, Tombo, because she sat and said to Jiji, "I want friends," but then I pushed them away.
That might have had something small bit to do with it, but I think it also had a lot more with other things because
she got frustrated because Tombo's friends were the same ones that she delivered the pie to that said they didn't like Granny's present.
Mm-hmm. But also they were bullies.
Yeah, and that upset her. And it was her being upset with them and the fact that Tombo was still hanging around with them. Yes, she wanted to be friends with Tombo, but then these people were involved as well. I basically threw her off. It took a center of balance and threw it off sideways. And it was the combination coming together, which took away, as you say, the joy of flying, being a witch, doing magic. It all sort of went away and crashed down on top of her. But yeah. I did relate to it because in many ways, you do pick up bits and you think, oh, yeah, I went through that, something similar.
Yeah, like I said, I do think it had definitely had things to do with the fact that she didn't want Tombo hanging around with the other group of people, but she could have also very easily voiced some of her problems, but
Mm.
she didn't want to voice her problems to him to let him know, hey, whereas maybe he could have gone up to his friends and say, hey, that's not very nice to do, or could have chosen to be, okay, I'm not going to have anything more to them. I'd rather hang out with you. She didn't
True.
do that. She just let it all build up inside her to where it all crashed down on her. She lost her magic. She lost her confidence to do things. So when in the end, when Tombo was in trouble, it took her a few minutes to get that confidence back. And even then she was shaky about it because,
Yeah.
as you can see, she wasn't flying cleanly. It
No.
was very, bouncing off walls and everything else until she got it. Even then, when she got close to him, it was almost a hit or miss before she could grab him. So
Yeah.
still, she
I
didn't have her
also
confidence
think.
back.
Yeah. I also think it was the fact that she had Osono at the bakery, and Osono being pregnant and trying to gee her along. She didn't rely on Osono either. She wanted to do it on her own to prove herself. That much I get. But to me, in the end, she had to rely on people like Osono, on Tombo, and even on the old lady to center herself, to realize that yes, she had this journey in front of her, but she wasn't going to go through it quite on her own. For me,
Oh no, each person takes out their different viewpoints on it.
yeah,
I came out with it with a slightly different viewpoint, but that's how you felt about it, and
yeah,
so
that's how I read it.
no problem with that. We have actually a lot of questions from Justin Field.
Yeah,
Let me throw up another one here. The film's themes include growing up and finding one's path. Oddly enough, I think this question fits into what we were just talking about. Do
yeah.
you think Kiki's journey resonates more with the younger audiences, or can it be appreciated by adults too?
I think it can be appreciated by all age groups, really. Um, I suppose it may not strike a chord or resonate quite as strongly with the younger audiences today as it may have done in the 80s when it came out, um, simply because today's younger people, so we say, are more interconnected by the internet. Uh, Back in the 80s, we were still using tin cans with a bit of string. um, as for adults, yeah, I mean, it resonates with many, many adults because you can look back on your own life and you see what Kiki's getting up to, and you think, yep, I was that dumb kid that did exactly what she did or something similar. I decided I was going to do this, and hell and high water wasn't going to stop me. And you know
I
what I mean? You
I
can
can look at it.
resonate with it.
Yeah, I can look at it as an adult though, and think, okay, a lot of my magic was lost when I was working like 80 hours a week, and the joy of what I was doing was gone. There was
Yeah,
no magic in it anymore. There was no love for it. I was working for a paycheck and working because I had to. There wasn't the joy of getting up in the morning and going to work because I enjoyed what I was doing. There was
exactly.
that pressure in that. There was my magic was gone,
Yeah.
and I needed to recenter myself to figure out what can I get back to enjoy what I'm doing.
Well, precisely.
So yeah, it can be like you said, reflection back to younger kids or even younger kids doing it. But for me, I look at it more as an adult and learning how to recenter myself,
Hmm.
get that magic back.
Yeah. You find, to be honest, as an adult, as you get older, the magic of life itself seems to slip slowly away.
Hmm.
And as you say, you have to find a new magic to fill that void.
Yeah.
Um, like yourself, I have a job I'm not particularly happy with. The fun, the magic, as you say, has gone. My new my new magic that I center around and have fun with is stupid things like this. I know they're not. I know they're not adult. I don't care. At my age, I really don't care.
I
I
wouldn't
enjoy it.
necessarily say they're not adult. I mean, they're not Bugs Bunny cartoons. They
Oh,
are very beautifully masterpiece pieces of art on the screen.
well, yeah. I mean, when you think about it, Miyazaki wrote, directed, and produced this.
Yes, he did.
So, you know, it really makes you sit and wonder that somebody can sit and bring this world forward from their imagination, place it on the screen, and millions of people around the world find joy in it. And your pet's gone for a wander.
What was that?
Your pet's gone for a wander.
Oh no, I took him down because every
Hello, she's
time
gone.
the
Have I gone or are
screen.
you gone?
I'm still here. And I think you're frozen.
Okay.
I see. I
I'm
put him up
having
here, but then the
connectivity problems, I
background.
think. And
Yeah, the
no,
background
I think, yeah,
tapped into him. So.
right. Hold on, as they say.
Uh
I'm about to do
oh.
something silly.
Oh.
Back shortly.
Word of warning. 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 She's doing something funny. In the meantime, I will go ahead and do this one as well. This is another one from Justin Fields, where he's saying the film's themes include growing up and finding one's path. Do you think Kiki's journey resonates with more of a younger audience? Didn't we just do this one? Yeah, that's what we just did. Okay, I'm getting senile. Okay. The vibrant city of Kiki's Delivery Service feels alive with unique characters. Which character, aside from Kiki, stood out to you the most and why? Well, I think I already answered that. It was definitely Jiji. Definitely stood out. I mean, his sense of humor, everything about that was so perfectly done by Phil Hartman. Um, and in truth, it reminds me a lot of we had here in the United States a show that was called Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And she had a black cat called Salem. And it almost seems like the humor that may have been taken a little bit from that kind of morphed in with Gigi a little bit. So, um, Aisha, where are you? How come you didn't come up on stage, woman?
We were talking. I didn't wish to interrupt, woman.
No, you can always
You
come on stage. You
continue. I
can always come on
wanted you to
stage.
finish what you were talking about.
So, I don't know. Did you hear the question that Justin had on this one?
Well, I'm just reading it now.
Yeah, and I had said, of course, it's definitely Gigi for me. But
Oh, right. Okay.
how about
The
you?
live characters, apart from Kiki, who stood out the most? Let me think. Foucault, the baker. He very rarely says anything, but to kind
He
of
was very
phrase
protective.
actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, he was very
And
protective of her.
he's very, very. It's him that makes the bread
Uh-huh.
thing to go in the window. It's him that gets outside in the rain while the boy is standing with an umbrella. It's Foucault that stands in the door scanning the sky to make sure she comes home. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, he becomes a second father. And that,
Oh, definitely.
to me, that's what stands out is Foucault. He's there.
And I think that will make him the perfect father when she gives birth.
Yeah.
You
Oh, yeah.
know?
You do see Foucault at the end. I think they're both on the beach or something, and he's got the child in his arms.
Yeah.
And it's a case of this is mine, and the world can go away because I've got the best thing going. You can see
exactly.
that.
But I agree with you. That was kind of a cute little peep into what he would become in the future with his own children.
Yeah.
was how protective he was of her already.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's the other character that stands out for me is Foucault. I mean, the two of them actually, the wife and Foucault, the pair, or Osono and Foucault, the two of them they take over the parenting of Kiki in many, many ways.
You know, the
Osono,
one,
Osono feeds her, talks to her, keeps her going, and Foucault does the dad thing of, when the
yeah.
boy's there, he looks as much to say, yeah, do the wrong thing, me to answer to. You can see it in the eyes.
Hmm.
No boy is good enough for my girl.
Actually, one of the ones I thought was rather humorous was we only just saw a few quick clips of him. Was the gentleman? I guess he was the street sweeper with the broom that
Oh,
he winds
yeah,
up borrowing the broom from.
yeah, yeah,
And at first he was like, "No, no, you can't have my broom. You can't have my broom." And then of course, after Kiki saves the day, it was my broom. It was my broom. She got the broom from me.
yeah,
He wants
yeah.
to spread it everywhere.
Yeah, he said, you see, that's another thing that throws you with this is the mixture of the old and the new.
Hmm.
You've got cars and street cars, trolleys, and then you've got this bloody big dirigible airship.
I know. One thing it really reminded me of, and you are probably of an age range to have seen reenactments or clips of hearing when the Hindenburg went down and the news reporter.
Mm-hmm.
They almost copied that whole the news anchor and the site
Yeah,
for that, except it didn't have anything that dramatic and horrible. But I almost expected the announcer on the show, the radio person, to say, "Oh, this is horrible! This is horrible!" I almost expected those words to come out of his mouth when the ship
he,
got
he,
blown
yeah,
upright.
yeah, he does. I think, pardon me, he does say at one stage, "Oh, this is horrendous. It's a sad
Yeah,
day,"
yeah, and
which
I
is
just
which is said at the only
yeah.
difference between Kiki's dirigible and the Hindenburg is Kiki's is full of uh,
Uh, I yeah.
no, theirs is hydrogen helium.
Helium. Yeah. No, I almost flipped it again. Yeah.
Yeah, I nearly flipped them around. Yeah, Hindenburg was full of hydrogen. The one in Kiki's is full of helium
Right.
because the guy in the roof says that you can hear the sound of the helium escape, and that's when it
Escaping.
comes down.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But now,
the old
I,
street sweeper who got the TV and he goes, "That's my broom.
I know.
She took my broom."
Uh-huh. But no, those were a couple of moments that stood
Yeah.
out to me. That one, like the sweet sweeper, I thought was kind of funny. But then it was almost, you can tell how much Miyazaki gets into the history of things, and especially with his love of anything that flew, aircraft of any sort, including dirigibles. So of course he knew, the history behind the Hindenburg, and would
Yes.
have had to have put a little bit of that twist in there as well, because you
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
felt it.
Oh, yes, certainly, certainly. I mean, you, the design is, nearly reminiscent. But
Mm-hmm.
also, when Kiki first leaves home, she's actually overtaken by a plane. Remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what plane that overtakes her? Do you know what it is? Because it is a real aircraft.
Um, I do know what it is. I also know the name of it, but
It's a Hadley Page
yeah.
HP-42.
Thank you. It was the HP-42 that I couldn't get, but no, I knew
Hadley
exactly
Page
what it was.
HP-42. It's a British aircraft, of all things.
I know.
Um, Also nicknamed the Flying Banana.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if Miyazaki put it there as much to say this could become a banana type film.
Well, if I remember correctly, in The Wind Rises, that was also mentioned. The flying
Yeah.
banana was also mentioned.
Mhm.
So,
But he actually went to Norway and what have you to investigate the architecture, because
Yeah.
it's actually set in a fictional northern country.
He actually went to, it was a Swedish town on the island of Gotland, is where he
Was it?
actually went to. It's on the Baltic Sea.
Okay.
It's called Visby, Visby.
Okay. Yeah. Visby and Stockholm.
Mm-hmm.
And he was over there trying to get the animation rights to Pippi Longstocking.
I know.
Oh dear.
But
Didn't
that's
happen.
why you look so much. It's like when you have the upper aerial view of the town with everything. And that's one thing that I really love, not only that, about any of Ghibli's stuff, is the fact that you get this aerial view and you know where each character is laid out.
Yeah.
It's perfect view. You're not lost anywhere. You go down that alley and that alley and go through this door. No, you know exactly where it is spatially.
Hmm.
You know, and I really like that. And then doing that with this, you got a feeling of, it was kind of a cross between a little bit of Mediterranean, a little bit of Sweden or Nova Scotia or Norway areas, um, and some of the, maybe a little bit of Denmark thrown in there. You kind of all got that feeling. There was absolutely no Japanese feel at all to this.
No. Now even the language on the side of the buildings were not
Nope.
Japanese. And at one stage, I don't know what it's like in the dubbed version, but in the Japanese version, the radio announcer speaks clearly in English.
In English, it is English.
Yeah. So, and when she first delivers the pacifier, you can clearly see the route that the woman has taken with the pram. You can clearly see as she takes off. You can clearly see where she's come down around and is passing in front.
Exactly.
Of the whole damn shebang. And you think, yeah.
And they have done that with so many of their films. Miyazaki is so good about that.
Well, they do it in when Marnie was there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember rightly, in Spirited Away.
Yes.
When they first arrive, you go through the town, but then you come to that bend where they take the left-hand corner. The sign's there, and then you look and you can see the road bending up, going up, and going up again to the village up on top.
Mm-hmm.
So the countryside connects to each other. It's not a separate item. When they make the Google.
There is one thing though that I had to laugh, because even though there is some reminiscence to the fact that redheads are normally witches and witches are normally redheads, she was dark haired, but she had a great big red bow, so that kind of offset it.
Yeah, well, of course. But also the fact that most of the film, her underwear is on display.
Yeah. But here's the thing, was it her underwear or was it pantaloons?
Who can say? But when she
Because
flies,
I
when she
always think
takes
it was
off,
pantaloons.
yeah, when she takes off, I mean, let's be honest. Before she flies out of sight and hits them ding dong bells, to say that there's a moon in the sky or there's two moons in the sky would not be far off.
No, it wouldn't. No, it would not.
And I mean, there is an actual picture of her at one stage where she's sitting on, I think it's the roof or somewhere, and all she's wearing is her undergarments.
Mm-hmm.
So, are they proper undergarments? Who can say?
I did not like when she and the artist were riding in that bus-like contraption, and the artist gets mistaken for a boy because of what she was wearing.
Oh, that's what it's in the lift, isn't it?
There was no way on God's green earth that anybody could have mistaken her for a boy. I don't care about the outfit, because she was wearing not a closed in type outfit where you couldn't see anything.
No, I
It was,
mean the top was quite tight,
yeah,
and
it
let's
was a
just
tank
say,
top.
yeah, and let's just say Daisy Duke would have been proud of the shorts.
Oh, yes, definitely. You
Unless she
know,
says in the car to the old guy, she says, "Have you ever seen a boy with legs like these?"
uh so I'm not sure where that came from, but I almost kind of felt that was a miss.
Mm. But it was quite. See, um, hitchhiking, something today that one would never even dream of doing.
Oh, I grew up doing it.
Oh, I did too. I
When you
did
wanted to
too.
be somewhere, you hitchhiked all over God's creation and back.
Yeah. Oh, I did. I did. I mean, it's not. I've stuck my thumb out, and I've gone from here to London and back
Hmm.
just by the power of the thumb. But today, no, no, no. People would not even consider it. They would think you're a lunatic or something. Especially over here in Britain and Europe, I don't. I think it's died a death. I don't know what it's like in America still.
It's pretty much died a death, but I can remember doing it right in the major height of the Charles Manson gang
Mm,
and doing it. So,
yeah, I mean, I did it late '60s, early '70s. So,
yeah.
and back then, you got all the weird, and wonderful stories. People would say, "You want to be careful. One day you'll get in a car and you won't get out." And you think, "Yeah, one day I'm not going to bother waking up." Because you were young and you were stupid, you
Y-
didn't care.
or worse yet, you become the psycho killer and turn a twist, and you're the person they picked up that's the psycho killer, not the other way around.
Yes, that's true. That is very true.
But here, like I said, here in the United States, it's died down, and what you've given me the impression it's kind of died down over there too. But in a lot of countries, it's still the norm. You know,
I think um, Eastern Europe, it may still be a a normal thing. Sort of like Poland, Hungary, Romania.
no, I'm saying Norway, a
I,
lot of those places.
um, I wouldn't know about that. I mean, I, all the sort of like Nordic people I've ever come across, they seem too reserved for doing that sort of thing. They're all too fitted together.
I have friends that have come over from Amsterdam, have traveled all throughout there. And they said that's all they did was hitchhike, was through Amsterdam and that whole area.
Must say, when I was over there, I never found any hitchhikers. The only hitchhikers I ever found were either in Germany or occasionally in Belgium. But when I went to Holland, when I went to Rotterdam and Amsterdam and The Hague, I didn't see a lot of them. Maybe they were just not there when I was driving around.
Oh, it could be.
I mean, it's like any place. I mean, there are days when if you're going to go out in the '70s, you knew fine damn well there was going to be hitchhikers on the road.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, I can remember in 1970 when the Isle of Wight had a music festival and Jimi Hendrix was playing. The road was crammed with hitchhikers. So,
Oh,
but we digress. We
yeah.
drift further away.
We're not
Have we
headed
got
back
any
to
more
Woodstock,
questions?
folks. Yes,
Yeah.
we do. All right. This is another one from Justin. Man, he lailed us with a ton of really good questions.
Well,
I wish
that's
he could have
nice.
been here in
Yeah,
in
that's nice.
person, not purpose.
Just
But okay. So, what is your thoughts on the animation style of the film? How does Studio Ghibli's visual approach enhance the storytelling?
for me, the animation style is signature Ghibli. It is, to me, it is signature Ghibli. It has um, an attraction all of its own. You can tell as soon as you see the film, you don't have to see Miyazaki's name attached to it. You just see a picture and you think, yes, That is
Mhm.
Studio Ghibli. It's like, I suppose it's like the early Disney. You could always tell an early Disney because they had a certain style to them. Ghibli is the same. Miyazaki
Mhm.
is the same. There is that style. And I like this. I like Ghibli style. I'll be honest. It's very, I suppose, Japanese anime where you do have the oversized eyes. And I find that a lot in Japanese animation, that it's the eyes, the expression around the eyes that
Mhm.
they rely on, and they really push that. But also the animation style in itself, as I mentioned with Spirited Away, um, and when Marnie was there, there's always that little gap in there that he does, which is an anime Ghibli style trope that he does, and that and all works for me. So I enjoy the animation style. How does does it enhance the storytelling? Um, I would say it complements and runs alongside the storytelling.
Mhm.
One does not trump the other.
Exactly.
You know,
That's the best way to put it. Yeah.
yeah, both run along parallel. The story reflects the anime style, and the anime style reflects the story, and that's how you go along. I mean, for instance, you think of one of our upcoming films, Princess Mononoke. Again, the style runs alongside and goes with the storytelling, and the storytelling enhances and helps with the visuals.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was going to say almost the same thing you did, except for a couple of things on my thoughts on the animation style itself. It's in my mind, it almost gives your brain a chance to relax and watch because it's so clean and crisp with what you're watching. You forget you're watching a cartoon. I'm sorry,
yeah,
that's what it is. It's an animation, but it is so beautiful. The artwork is so beautifully done that you literally are drawn into it and become almost part of it,
yeah,
and you forget you have the female's hair gently blowing back and forth, or if they're running, or the leaves or the grass just slightly moving back and forth. You know, it just it's tremendous to watch. And then there is also that signature style that is Miyazaki himself, where there's a couple of seconds in this movie even where there's a little bit of silence before
yeah,
something big happens.
yeah,
And there were two times that I saw it before huge big explosions happened. One is when Kiki's trying to get all of her power into that broom and it's quiet.
yeah,
And then all of a sudden you see the puff of the broom's bristles, and then she's pushing more and more. And then you see all the wind coming through her cloak, and up she goes.
yeah,
And then you hear some of the music. And then a little bit later, once she has rescued Timbo, the same thing. It's completely quiet once she has a hold of him and is bringing him down. The audience, not the audience, but the whole group of people that have gathered underneath her don't burst out into anything until she's already, on the ground and he's
yeah,
already been rescued by the fire department.
yeah, yeah.
So,
That's signature. That to me is signature Miyazaki.
exactly.
That is signature for me. Signature Miyazaki.
Yeah. And what you said as far as the visual approach, it doesn't enhance, it encompasses both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they run along right
Parallel to
parallel
each other. Yeah.
to the other. You know, one does not overpower. The storytelling doesn't overpower the visuals, and the visuals do not diminish the story.
I would look at it almost like a DNA strand, how everything is intercoiled
Yeah,
and wrapped together.
yeah.
That would be that.
You have the helix, and
Yeah.
as long as that helix is in sync, it works. And Miyazaki has that gift of being able to pull all those strands together and make that helix to make
Get work.
what we see on the screen, which is great.
I did want to give a really quick shout out to Robert S. Burns, and I know it was Judy, his sister, that did that. Thank you for the like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I have one final one here that says Kiki's Delivery Service explores the idea of confidence and doubt. How do you think the film portrays failure, and what lessons does it offer for overcoming challenges?
Well, yeah, confidence. Well, she clearly, when she loses the confidence, because as I said earlier, frustrations, just she runs herself down. Yeah, self doubt. It shows you in stark contrast what can happen when you doubt yourself. You lose some of you. You lose part of you.
Mm-hmm.
Kiki lost her part of her by not being able to fly. That's what she lost. She lost her best friend, the cat, Jiji. So it portrays that quite openly, but it also portrays the fact that to overcome that, she relies on the people around her. She relies on Osono. She relies a lot on Fuko. And always, I think the old girl in the house with the maid.
Mm-hmm. That was the stuck-up granddaughter. That was her grandmother.
That was the grandmother. Yeah, I think those particular individuals, those four individuals, ground Kiki. They made Kiki realize that she was not alone. And then the artist sort of like the cherry on the top.
Yeah.
Because she's as this little poster that started the show says, to her it's painting, to the baker it's making the bread. For Kiki, it's flying. It's being the witch and flying. That's what makes her whole.
Yeah. It's that same spirit is what makes me paint and makes your friend bake. But we each need each other for our own inspirations, Kiki. Sometimes it's not easy.
Exactly. See? But we need each other to do it. It's like, I suppose it's like this program, bit of yin and yang. I need you to do the program because you got all the brains and know what you're doing, and you need me as the comic relief.
Oh,
I don't care.
oh, I'm going to hurt you later, but.
Oh, you like to catch me first. Oh, chase me. My head's caving in.
But no, I pretty much agree with what you said on that. How do you think the film portrays failure? Well, it shows we all fail, we all stumble and fall down. It's how we pick ourselves up and how we appreciate the help, not the help pulling up, but the hand up. We'll reach out a hand to help somebody. We're not saying we're going to do this for you, but we'll give you a hand up. Same as we can reach out for the hand up.
Yeah, we'll support you in your efforts to rebuild, but you have to be the one that does the rebuilding.
Exactly.
And for Kiki, it's Osono, Fuko, the grandmother, and the grandmother's what's her name? Yeah, the housekeeper. I can never remember her name.
I can never remember her name either, but somebody brought it to my attention. I can't remember if it was my niece or my daughter, but she's like, that housekeeper reminds me so much of the lady in Spirited Away, the princess, or not princess, but the Grandma Baba or whatever it was.
Oh, Yubaba.
The two sisters? Yeah, the two sisters.
Yeah, Yubaba and yeah, I know. I never remember the other girls. I never remember Yubaba's sister's name.
Yeah, but she said it was the same face, the same features on the face.
Similar, yeah. I would say I would say Baba was based on the grandmother
This
from
one.
Kiki.
Yeah, because of the timeline with how they fell, probably
Yeah,
so. But
yeah,
I will say one thing that I was highly disappointed on, and this is just a me thing because I happen to adore suit sprites. Okay, I think I told you this before
yeah.
because I had really long hair. I used to have suit sprites that I would wear up in my hair and everything. Well, I could not understand when um, Kiki got shown the room and how dusty it was, and they realized it was a little more dusty than normal. And she's sweeping away that dust. Why couldn't she have been sweeping away suit sprites? Why did it have to be just dust? Why couldn't there have been a suit sprite or two?
Well, it wasn't dust actually. It was flour because Jiji turns around and says, because he puts his paw down and then lifts it and says, "I'm going to be a white cat by the end of the week."
Yeah, but no,
So yeah,
I thought there was some dust there too on the bed
yeah.
as well. But
Well, it was a combination dust, fluff, of flour.
yeah,
I suppose the suit sprites weren't there because there wasn't a fire there. She'd not lit the fire or
true because
anything.
it wasn't suit. Okay,
But yeah, I mean, suit sprites would have gone well with Kiki, I think.
yeah, because remember, Spirited Away in the very beginning, we had the suit sprites there underneath. And granted, I get that they were there because of the coal with everything working. But in My Neighbor Totoro, when they first opened up the house, it's a brand new house that they're moving into. Everything is clean, pristine, clean, the whole bit. But there were suit sprites in the corner.
Yeah,
That was dust,
true.
was
But
it? Yeah.
were they suit sprites or dust bunnies?
I've always thought suit sprites were kind of dust bunnies.
No suit sprites in Marnie, though. Or is there?
No, I would believe it or not, in every movie I look for them,
Yeah,
and I'm trying to remember if there were in Marnie.
I don't remember seeing any.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch. I
No.
thought,
I know there's a form of suit sprites in Brave, the Disney film Brave, the
yeah,
suit
no,
sprites with the leader.
I haven't seen the Disney film Brave since my daughter was like 7.
Yeah,
That was
and it
like
was,
13 or 14 years ago.
and you also had sort of suit sprites, but they were more like little fire sprites in When Mary, or Mary and
Mm-hmm.
Witch's Flower. You had
Yeah, I
something
remember
similar.
that.
So we have covered quite a lot of, and I believe there's suit sprites or something similar in Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, we'll have to keep my eye out for it specifically this time around for it.
Yeah, I believe there's something of a similar ilk in Princess Mononoke, one of our forthcoming films that we're going to be looking at.
Yep.
So, see, we cater for everyone.
Yes, we do. We cater for everyone.
We
Speaking
cater
of,
for everyone. Liz likes suit sprites. Me, I like anime. She gets the suit sprites. I get my anime. Hey ho!
hey, they come together in one package.
Yeah, like I said, yin yang. We go.
I just don't like suit sprites in my house unless they're doing the housework.
Well, you see, that's the thing. My dust bunnies mugged my cleaning fairy, so there's no cleaning done in my house.
Well, I think that we got rid of all of the house elves when Hogwarts fell because they all seem to have left it all up to us humans to deal with. And I
Yeah,
keep telling my family I'm a freed elf. I don't need to clean anymore. And they keep telling me I'm not. So
yeah.
that wow, those questions kind of wrapped up the majority of everything that we had to talk about.
Oh, yes, I suppose you could say that. I mean, we could go on to production, or we could go on to some of the prizes or
Oh,
accolades that the film
please,
won.
please do.
The accolades that this film won, believe it or not, I didn't believe it won quite so many. The 12th Anime Grand Prix. It got Best Anime, Best Female Character, and Best Anime Song. That's the Japanese version. In the 44th Minashi Film Award, it got the Best Animated Film. In the Kinema Junpo Awards, Reader's Choice, it got the best, it won that as well. In the 13th Japanese Academy, it got the Special Award, it won. Popularity Award, it won. And then after that, you got the 7th Golden Gross Award, which sounds terrible, but gold, Japanese film, it won that. In the 7th Annual Money Making Directors Award, it won for Miyazaki. He won that. On the Movies Day, Special Achievement Award, won KIKI'S Delivery Service. Japan Cinema Association, Agency of Cultural Affairs, and the Tokyo Metropolitan Culture Honor. All those, it won. So, it's got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 awards.
Wow.
That it won. Which, when you think about it, when it came out in the 80s, it did quite well. Okay,
Yeah.
It didn't pick up the Oscar like Spirited Away, but it had a damn good run at it.
Yes, it did.
And I mean, even today, people are still watching the film. There's 2 idiots here that do that. So, is it relevant today? Yeah, it's relevant today. It allows people to see success, failure, resilience, lack of confidence, all that sort of stuff. It's there. And you just see how people handle it. In this case, a 13-year-old witch.
Yeah.
So
but that 13-year-old witch could be anybody. That could be, a 13-year-old school child. It could be a 22-year-old young person going to college. It could be a 53-year-old not sure what to do with their job anymore.
Or a 68-year-old pensioner who's looking at retirement and wondering, where do I go next?
Mm-hmm. I think there's a message for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, other things, you've got books. There's Kiki books. There's a 4-volume manga series, which published between August and September in 1989. The English translation came out between April and July 2006.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a big art book, a 208-page art book, was brought out on February the 11th, 1989. And again,
I would have had those to show and tell, except for the fact that my niece has them all at her house.
Yeah, where is your niece? She's Kiki. She should be here.
Yeah, she is actually about 200 miles away right now, visiting a friend right up by the Oregon border.
Yeah. Now, remember when we did Spirited Away?
Yes.
You mentioned musical, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a musical all about Spirited Away.
Right, and there should be one of Kiki, I think, too.
Kiki's got more than one.
Well, more than one. I thought it was just one.
Yeah. Musical based on the film, ran in the Southwark Playhouse, over here, Southwark,
right,
from December the 8th, 2016 to January the 7th, 2017, and officially opened on December the 13th. There was also other musicals that ran in Japan, and the first one was in Tokyo and then Osaka, and they ran from June 2017 until September 2017. And the most recent one, are you ready for the shock horror? Ran from March 2021 until April 2021 in Tokyo, Nagoya, and Osaka.
Wow. That's quite a run.
That's there. So Kiki's had quite a few musicals and in quite a few places.
It wouldn't surprise me if we don't see her appear again.
That would not surprise me at all. So, I mean, the film and any relevance that it has for modern youth is there. It's there. Do you watch it? My suggestion would be, yeah, watch it. You'll probably find it on Netflix or Amazon or some such streaming service.
It's
might
on
be on there.
Cinemax. It's on Cinemax right now for me. But
There you
yeah.
are, Cinemax. I mean, if you want a more hard copy, I dare say there are various sites that one could go and visit. I
Mhm.
mean, me personally, I went to a shop in a town and they do anime. And this was sitting on the shelf, looking very forlorn and lonely. And I believe when I bought it, it cost me in the region of £5 British. So was it new when I bought it? No, but I don't care. I wanted to watch it. I bought it. I watched it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I would suggest anybody of any age, it's worth a watch. It
Definitely
really
worth a
is.
watch.
It's worth a watch. You can sit there and just for the 100 and odd minutes that the film is on, lose yourself in fantasy. You can follow Kiki, you can follow Jiji, and you can follow the baker, the little lad chasing the dirigible. You can even watch Granny try to light the fire so she can bake her fish and pumpkin pie.
And
Which
actually, I had a picture of that somebody did, and I was going to see if I could incorporate it over, and it wouldn't let me earlier this morning. And so I was going to say, this is going to be our recipe for today. We're going to, because I thought the recipe was attached to it, because it was a beautiful hand done. They did the top just the exact same way that you see it in the picture.
yeah,
But I got thinking, well, maybe, depending on what they did with it. Because
the,
remember, pumpkin doesn't have to be pureed. It could be chunked like a squash, but even still, nope. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Mm-mm.
no. I mean, to me, when they said fish and pumpkin, I thought, fish, pumpkin,
Well,
really?
but you have, okay, I don't know about you, but I have certain types of fish with some types of squash. Some of it's hard
Yeah,
squash, some of it's summer squash. And that's what
but it
pumpkin
rather
is, it's a
depends. It
squash.
depends on, yeah, it would rather depend on what fish it was,
But it was herring.
which I wouldn't think actually would go with pumpkin.
No, the only thing that herring is good for is creamed herring or dried herring.
You smoke it?
You can smoke it, yes.
I mean, that's what Arbroath Smokies are.
Yeah,
They are world renowned. Our
I
Arbroath
know.
Smokies. We're rather proud of our Arbroath Smokies. But
Just
yeah,
don't decide to tease your best friend in the entire world when she's 8 months pregnant and be eating them in the car with the windows rolled up.
I'm not even going to go there.
I my my best friend and her husband, which was also my best friend, I don't even from the time that I was 3. He since passed away. But when she was when she was 8 months pregnant, we did that to pick on her. We would both be eating that dried herring in the back of the car. He
Yeah.
was driving, and I'd be in the back, and she would be greener than a frog.
Well, believe it or not, when my mum was pregnant, her thing was strawberries.
Oh, strawberries are good.
Yeah. Which is why I can't stand the damn things. You show me a strawberry now in this case, so I go pea green. Just don't like strawberries.
Isn't it funny what you do when you're pregnant and how it changes?
Yeah.
It's like when before I got pregnant, I could eat the hottest. I think I mentioned this before. I could eat the hottest thing known to man. Scotch bonnet wasn't hot enough. The second I got pregnant with my daughter, now I can't eat some barbecue sauces. It's too spicy. She can eat Scotch bonnets and higher without a problem and a grin on her face saying it's not hot enough. Same thing as I could not eat any shellfish at all. It made me violently ill. Shrimp, especially, made me violently, violently ill. After I had her, I could eat nothing but shrimp. Luckily, she liked shrimp too, so we got off even on that one. But
Yeah.
she took away my hot. I miss my hot food.
Yeah, well, I had a friend actually when she got pregnant. She got into eating salt, and we had to really cut it down because she was OTT on the salt.
Oh, that's my daughter. She will literally she buys lemon salt packs and
Mm.
eats them constantly. She puts salt on her toast.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
we really don't. She went ballistic on the salt, and we used to hide it from her.
yeah.
She'd sit there and just, you know, and you'd think, for God's sake, woman, leave it alone. The kid's going to come out looking like a bloody fish.
Yes, Liesel, we know pickled herring is delicious. Hey, thanks for popping in. It's kind of cool to see you.
Oh, Liesel. Hello, my man. Nice to see you on the other side of the sports arena.
Oh, Liesel pops in on a lot of our different stuff.
Ah, well, he's obviously a man of taste and distinction. He's come to slum it with us.
Yeah.
So we've actually got, from what I can see, we've got 3 people watching us.
Oh, as of right now, we've had a variety of different people on and off throughout the whole time. We got up there pretty high for a while.
Oh, well, that's nice. At least we know we're talking to somebody.
Well, we're obviously talking to somebody because we have pretty good numbers so far on the show. So,
but I mean, this KIKI'S Delivery Service, this came after My Neighbor Totoro.
I know.
I mean, My Neighbor Totoro was 88.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at things actually the other day, and if you look at the early releases of Studio Ghibli, they're almost every 2 years. Nearly every 2 years. Sometimes it's not quite the year, but most of them, the big ones, every 2 years. You get a nice...
Yeah. And of course, we just had The Boy and the Heron, so if
I'm still looking for.
Oh, I cannot wait to review this one. I cannot wait.
Well, we will. Once I get it, we will.
I know. We have so many more to do, and it's just not all Ghibli.
Exactly. We can now review Pompoko because guess what?
You got it.
I got it. I had to buy Crimson, the Konosuba movie. No, that time when I was reincarnated as a slime movie. I had to buy that movie and get hold of Pompoko at the same time. Yeah. Hey. I nearly got My Neighbor Totoro, but the price.
Oh, I love that, Lethal. I enjoy learning about things I know nothing about. Can never know too much about what's in the world. I agree, Lethal Migraine, 100%.
Yep, very true. Any man or any person that says they know everything, I would give them a wide berth. But you're never too old to learn. Never.
Nope.
I mean, I'm in my 60s and I'm still learning. There are still times when I go places and I learn things and I think, wow, what a world. And it is. I mean, I came to anime very late in life. And even now I get to see fantastic films like this, and Princess Mononoke, Grave of the Fireflies, Spirited Away, Okko's Inn. And I think, wow, I missed all this years ago. And now I'm just learning all about it. And I think, great. The world still holds wonder and mystery for me.
And that's wonderful. And that's what it should be. No one person should know everything.
No.
Yeah.
And you, as I said, you're never too old. Never too old.
I think that's why this particular broadcasting hub, shall I say, this umbrella that we're all under, I think is one of the reasons that I like NDP Media so much is it does cover so many different genres of different things that are enjoyable and either I'm already a fan of or I'm learning about.
Yeah.
And I think that will always be, a very positive viewpoint for it.
Well, of course. And I mean, how many reviewers are there on all these platforms that review anime? Hundreds, thousands. So we're not alone in our enjoyment and love of anime. We're just trying to gain a few more acolytes. Say
Exactly. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons too while she's mentioning that. We need our love.
Yeah. You ready for this?
Okay.
Like and subscribe. And ring that damn bell.
I'll ring your bell here in a second if you keep clicking.
Oh, I couldn't resist it. As soon as you started, I thought, I got to find the bell.
At least you're not Richard with the cowbell.
No. This actually comes off a mug, and the mug on it says "ring for tea." There's also another one that says "ring for coffee."
Ooh, I like that idea.
So you have this, which sits, this little bit here sits on the handle of the cup. And then you just...
that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like.
See,
I'm ringing the downstairs maid.
Yeah, see, my mother and her love of tea.
So do we.
I used to be what in Britain we call a tea jenny. Which is the kettle was on every 5 minutes. So, you want a cup of tea? Yes, let's go get a cup of tea, Middle of work. Do you fancy a cup of tea? Yes, we go for a brew. See, if a Brit ever walks up to you and says, do you want a brew? They're normally talking about a cup of tea. So do emphasize, if they say, do you want a brew? Say, yeah, but I drink coffee or, not tea.
I go both ways, so hey, it's not a problem. I made the mistake of saying that one time when I was at work, and the other nurse that I was working with was going to go make a lunch run, and so we were talking about sodas and different things, and he said, "Well, what do you want? Do you want diet or do you want regular soda?" And I said, "Well, no, I go both ways." And he looked at me and gave me this cheeky ass grin and goes, "Well, so do I." And I just lost it from there.
Yeah, I must be honest to say, when I worked in a recovery centre called Tedworth House, we had a Navy Wren, and in the Navy they have their own phraseology. And she walked up one day to these, so we say, hairy soldiers, and she says, "Anybody want a wet?" Which in Navy parlance means, does anybody want a cup of tea or a drink? And of course, soldiers being soldiers and their mind being constantly in the dirt, as soon as she says, "Anybody want a wet?" it all went the other way. Oh boy, the poor girl just stood there. When somebody explained it to her, it took her about a week to get over saying that particular statement. She quickly learned that you do what the Pongos do and say, "Anybody fancy a brew?" because it's safer. Yeah. But, see, something else you've learned now. British slang. Terrible.
I thought I was pretty well up on my British slang, considering I have so many friends and relatives, but there's still one every once in a while that'll get me.
Well, exactly. You see, you must learn to swear politely, because I do. That's why I use the phonetic alphabet to swear.
Yeah, we know where you learned that particular swear, the same place I did.
Yeah. Once you've been in the forces and you learn the phonetic alphabet, you can swear like a trooper, and most people stand there and go.
I taught my nephew. I taught
Oh,
my I taught my nephew all of this in phonetics. And when he went back, he was in a military boot camp for a while back in Kentucky for about 8 months. And he went through all the phonetics like super fast. And his drill sergeant pulled him aside. How do you know? You've only been here, this amount of time. He goes, my aunt taught me. And he's like, well, how did your aunt know? You don't want to know.
you don't want
And
to know.
just let it go at that.
I must be honest. When I was in the forces, I knew two phonetic alphabets. I knew the NATO phonetic alphabet, but I also learned the German phonetic alphabet because we run in conjunction with the German forces, and some of their ones is it really, you have to remember to say Ypsilon instead of Yankee. That
Yeah.
throws you. That really does throw you, And there's Dora instead of Delta, and well, what? Pardon? To me, Dora is Dora the Explorer, not.
Okay, I have got a question for lethal migraine. If you enjoy a good cup of tea, what kind of tea do you enjoy? If you're still listening.
Me, I know what cup of tea. Well, I used to enjoy a good cup of tea was what they call breakfast tea. It's white, two sugars, but it's a special blend.
Yeah.
They call it breakfast tea. That's what I used to. I mean, I do occasionally when I'm at work. I do occasionally invest in a cup of tea, but I've got to be really in the mood. Got to be in
It's
the.
it's got to be super strong and have a lot of milk in it for me.
Well, you see, over.
Ooh, white chai and samurai.
Oh,
Yes, that
mm,
does sound wonderful.
yeah. You see, where I work, especially in the forces, when they say, "Do you want a cup of tea or do you want a brew?" You normally look at it and you think, "Yeah," because when it arrives, you can stand a spoon in it and it'll just stand there looking at you.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can paint it on the side of a ship; it won't rust anymore. It's just
Hmm.
protect. What the hell it does to you inside is another matter. But hey,
Who needs varnish? We have that.
well, exactly. That's the thing you got to do. It's like your coffee. Coffee's the same. All these
Oh,
different flavors of coffee.
the only one, I think I mentioned this one time a couple of years ago, right when I first met you guys. The only coffee I will not try is the coffee that is coffee beans that are ground from the monkey poop.
The what fruit?
There's some special coffee that these monkeys eat these coffee beans, and it's partially dissolved in their mouth or whatever the saliva partially dissolves it.
Oh, this isn't the one that goes through their
Yes,
yeah.
yes, it is.
Enough said. Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
with you on that one, girl. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
yeah. And I belong to a company that does coffees from around the world, different small growers, independent growers, and things. So every month we have something new from a different area that's shipped to us. So it's fun to try out the different stuff, but that's one I will not try. I'm sorry. And I hear it's absolutely astronomically expensive anyway. I'm like,
Well, yeah, I
no, thank
suppose
you.
when you think about it, it will be after you got to run through the jungle chasing the chimpanzees or the monkeys for starters.
Oh, lethal migraine, you have to be kidding me. It goes through cows? Oh, no, thank you.
Don't cows
I
have
have had a lot of coffee out of different growers in Hawaii,
chicken?
but I've never heard it's been manufactured through a cow.
No, neither have I, to be honest.
Ooh,
Ooh,
no, thank you.
no, sorry.
Oh, God, don't let Roger see that, or he'll be teasing me that I'm doing it in the backyard with the cows.
Oh, I'm keeping my mouth
You
shut on
keep your mouth shut because I realized the second I said it. I realized that the second I said it. So you just
Oh,
sip.
oh no, I
You
thought
just sip it.
you set it up, and I thought, am I going to knock it down?
No.
No, I better not, because
Oh,
she'll
yeah,
think me.
no, I set it up big time and I wasn't even aware of it. The second it
Yeah,
left my mouth, I knew.
don't you just hate that? That's almost as bad as when you walk in a room and you think, what am I doing here?
Oh, God. Oh, yes, please. Oh, yes, please.
Lethal migraine, I'm going to thump you. I nearly choked on me blooming milkshake there.
Yes, but he's brilliant. He's brilliant. I'll have to remember that one.
Oh, as they used to say over here, you are a bad boy. You is definitely a bad boy. You would feed Roger animal poop coffee and not tell him till after he drinks it.
Yeah, I think that's great. Oh, that's
Now
great.
you see, the sadist in me would wait till he's halfway down the cup, then tell him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that too.
Because I'm like that, you see.
Well, I think we have pretty much left Japan and have headed around Hawaii and then back to the barnyard.
Yeah, we exactly. We've gone all over the place, but we've covered most parts of the film. We even had your man there with all these questions.
Oh, it was wonderful. And Justin, if you're listening to this later, please either join us if you can, or if you can't, please put in the questions that you put in like before. That was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest and say, love it. Please do it again. I would feed Roger a lot of things and not tell him what it is until he's finished. You never know what you like unless you try it. That's how I first tried.
Oh, you did try camel. I've been curious about it. How
Hmm,
was it?
yeah, I got to be honest and say that's how I ended up eating a piece of snake.
Oh, snake is good.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, it's
You?
good.
Yeah, I've heard of many chewy things, but that was too chewy.
It wasn't cooked right then if it was chewy.
Yeah, like tripe. I can't stand that either. Ooh.
Tripe is fine, but it has to be cooked well. Chicken
Um,
feet I love. Chicken feet
chicken.
and the beaks. They're really good. Duck's tongue are wonderful.
No, my granny used to like ox tongue.
Tastes like lean roast beef. Ooh. Okay then. Yeah, it just gives me more of a push to try it. Thank you, Lethal Migraine.
Well, not being a beef eater, I won't be. I will not be joining you on that.
So, um,
Me and you
mm,
both there. Not, I've had it once, and I thought, no, never again. Oh. What about you in tripe? Are you into tripe, big style, Liz?
I've had tripe when it's been done in actual, not Americanized Chinese restaurants, but it's fully either Chinese ancestry background, either restaurants or in homes,
Mm,
where it's not fixed at all American wise, which is where I've eaten the duck tongue and the chicken feet and things like that.
yeah.
Oh, I'm still freezing. Why are you laughing at me? That's why I keep blotting it out. I keep freezing.
Well, yeah. I thought that was just you trying to, prove that you're an upright, stoic citizen.
Me, upright and stoic.
Yeah, all right. It's
That's
not.
like saying that I'm a little angel, which we all know I am.
No. I
Yes.
keep telling you, just because your halo's around your ankles, that doesn't make you an angel.
My halo is not around my ankles. I don't know how many times I've told you this. It's held up by my horns.
Yeah, well, I lost my halo years ago. Somebody else has got it now.
Oh, yes, Peking duck is definitely phenomenal. But that's more of the whole duck, not just the duck tongue.
I thought Peking duck was actually a chicken. Or am I?
No, I think it's a full duck. It's duck.
Because there
Because
was.
the reason they did the Peking to get the crispy on the skin is to get rid of so much of the underlying fat. That's duck fat.
Oh
Whenever
yeah, I
I've
know.
had
I know duck and goose. They're very
extremely
greasy.
fatty.
Yeah,
Um,
really fatty and greasy.
yeah,
So
anytime
pheasant,
I've had Peking duck, it's always been duck.
yeah, but pheasant. That I find and all that's very greasy. I nearly said gamey, but then again, it's a game bird, so it would be gamey, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a bit gamey, and you really have to watch out for the buckshot when you do it too.
I know somebody that used to when he was a he was a gamekeeper, so we say, and if he got a pheasant in, the first thing he used to do was, after he washed it and plucked it, he would run a magnet over it.
I can see that.
So, he'd run a magnet over it to see if we get rid of all the buckshot that was in there. So, such his life. Have you finished being a Eastern film,
I
an
don't know.
Asian?
Have I? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. You're
I'm
no
back.
longer the, kung fu fighting and all the rest of it. Yeah.
If they consider me like Bruce Lee, no problem. I'll take it as a compliment.
Well, there you go. There you go. So, are we going to preview our next film, or are we going to just leave that for our viewers to find and locate?
No, you can go ahead and preview it. I don't have the stuff up in front of me. You see, here I am freezing again.
Well, no, me and you both there, darling. Me and you both.
Is it Princess Mononoke?
I believe so. I believe so. I can't, something. I'm suddenly thought about this, and I cannot remember what it. I think it is
Hang on, I'll tell you. Yes, it's Princess Mononoke.
Yeah,
It'll be on February 9th.
February 9th, Princess Mononoke.
At 7 a.m. Same bat time, same bat channel.
And the same two batty people presenting.
Exactly.
Exactly. So if you would like to join us and our half-hearted review of Princess Mononoke, and hopefully our friend.
Yes, Lethal Migraine, I have.
No, I was never a One Piece fan anyway, so the live action never attracted my attention, Lethal. But thank you very much. But if our question setter gets his skates on and gets all the questions for Princess Mononoke lined up, we can do it
I'm
again.
sure he will. I have a feeling because he has popped up in a couple of our other programs. I think he works during this time or sleeps during this time. So I notice he's been putting in questions beforehand before some of the shows start, which is fine.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it gave us an extra piece of action to go to and
definitely.
So I quite enjoyed it. Made me sit and think. How do you sit it down? And I mean, I've got all this stuff here, and some of the stuff it tells you. I mean, as it says, it goes through encounters, other life, loneliness, and all the rest of it. So yes.
Yep.
But I mean, when you get the voice, I mean, I didn't realize that Kirsten Dunst did the voice of Kiki in the English version.
Mm-hmm. She did the voice of Kiki.
Yeah. And the late, great Debbie Reynolds was was the Madame.
She was.
Yes, the late, great Debbie Reynolds. I actually have one of Debbie Reynolds' songs. Is it Tammy?
Oh, I like Tammy.
Yeah. I've seen the film, and I've got the 45 in my collection. Because I quite like Debbie. She was a nice.
That whole family was stupidly talented. Just unbelievably talented.
Yeah, but man, did they know how to do it? You got to give them that. But the strange thing is, the Streamline. Where I said Streamline had the first English dub version.
Yeah.
The actors they have, I've never really heard of. I mean, Kiki was played by Lisa Mitchelson. I've never heard of her. So, let's see. Debbie Reynolds' part was played by somebody called Melanie McQueen.
Okay.
And the one that you were on about which was Phil Hartman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
was
Jiji.
actually done by Kerrigan Mahan.
Oh, okay. I do know him.
Yeah, he was in the Power Rangers, apparently.
Yeah,
Mighty
that's why I
Morphin
know
Power
him. Thank you, my nephew.
Rangers. Thank you,
Believe me,
mate.
I'm so glad he's out of the Power Rangers age now that he's 23.
Yeah, but some of them, well, say most of them, I've never heard. I've never heard of Lara Cody or Barbara Goodson.
Well, it's funny when we do Talented Universe and we have an actor or a singer or something that comes on. Michael hates me because I'm like, oh, I know that because I've seen this and this and that. He's like, what haven't you seen and what haven't you listened to?
I mean, Kirsten Dunst, wasn't she even in How to Train Your Dragon?
Possibly, I'm not sure.
Because that was a big one for DreamWorks for a long time. That How to
Yeah, it
Train
was.
Your Dragon. I've got most of the series. I've got 2 series and 3 films up there. So you never know.
I'd heard they were working on another one.
Yeah, they did. It had Dragons, the 9 Realms, but it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
There's not a lot you can. I mean, they took it completely away from the Viking era and brought it into the modern era, and it completely buggered it up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, they only had 2. I think they only had 2 series. I mean, the original one, you had, what was it? You had the first film. You said dinner.
Well, that's for you to decide, Miss Chelsea. Well, you should have popped in earlier. You knew I was doing it. This happens to be one of my nieces.
Okay, I'm so glad you informed me on that one.
Yeah. So.
Well, you've got a little time to get your 2 Pennyworth in, my girl, if you want to. I mean, we've got another at least 5 minutes. Would you say?
Yeah, Chelsea, if you wanted to say anything about Kiki's, you could.
Yeah, we don't mind. I mean, we're open here. We like people joining in. So, as I said, we've got Princess Mononoke coming up. We've got Your Name coming up. Weathering with You. Suzume. What else we got coming up?
I think Suzume is the final one that we've got in the queue, and we need to come up with more after that. We are stocked in the queue through April 23rd, I believe.
Okay.
So.
Well, we've got plenty of Ghibli films to go through still.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we've got Ponpoko, we've got Grave of the Fireflies, The Cat Returns.
I was talking to somebody who also, they've gotten out of it the last couple of years, but they also do movie reviews of Ghibli, and they have sworn up and down that is one they will never do, is Grave of the Fireflies, and it's 3 guys. And I asked my friend, I said, well, okay, well, why is it that you won't do it? You've done them all. He goes, because you don't want to see 3 adult men ugly cry on screen.
Yeah.
Okay, that works for me.
That worked for me too. I mean, let's be honest. It although it's Ghibli, it's hard. It's a hard watch.
It is a hard watch. I do feel that it should be watched and explained, the same as watching The Wind Rises.
Yeah.
Was explained, even though it was nowhere near that catastrophic.
No,
but you give you an understanding.
But the thing is, with Grave of the Fireflies, as so many people have said, it starts with the main character or the boy dying on the platform, and then the film starts, which is why you have this urban myth that what you are actually seeing is the boy's life through his eyes. As he's dying, he's reviewing his life.
Yep.
And therefore, both him and his sister are in what they call perpetual purgatory.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And that was
you know,
very common way of storytelling,
yeah.
you know.
But
But
maybe we will brush over it or touch it on it, or we may not do a full in-depth poke around review of it, but we may mention it in passing, like today.
on the train going 99 miles an hour past the
Yeah, or a low-flying aeroplane.
yeah. But
But
on that note,
yeah,
I think we probably should go ahead and wrap it up.
if you so desire, yes, we can wrap it up. We can go return to our normal lives, and I will say thank you to everyone that's decided to view us and join in with us. Great. Please come again. 2 weeks
Definitely.
time. Here, join us. The two batty women. We love it.
Yeah. Please keep us out of the insane asylum. We need your help and your input.
It saves us sitting at home going, because that's all
Yeah.
we do, really.
Yeah.
We're silly old farts, really.
So definitely like and subscribe, and definitely go ahead and check out NDV Media. Under our calendar, we have a lot of upcoming shows coming up going into February. We're also going to be restarting a lot of our interviews on Talented Universe with people from The Voice. And that will be coming up in late February and on through the rest of the year. So definitely give us a chance. Uh-oh, what did he say? You did not say that, Lethal. I love you. You've become my biggest love you, love you. All right. Talk to you guys later. All right. Bye.
Bye bye, peeps.